It's everywhere! Grab it! I'm rich! Get it all!
More over here!
Smoke! Get back!
Florence. Circa 1400, level 5. Ledger's modern banking took shape in medieval and Renaissance Italy through merchant banking, records, and branch networks.
Alright, so like I said before, my economics professor told me the only way to actually master global finance is to apply imagination to logic. And in my mind, that means stop simply reading textbooks and start visualizing how money actually works. So I'm doing exactly that with these videos. Last time we left off at paper money. Level 4 showed us that empires could make you trust a promise instead of a coin. But here's what my econ textbooks didn't actually tell me. The real power move wasn't the paper itself. It was a book. A damn ledger. Some merchant in Florence figured out that if you could write numbers in the correct rows and columns, then you could move wealth across cities without moving a single coin. No heavy carts and horses, no military guards, no metal, just ink and some trust. Well, a lot of trust. And that's where it gets sticky. Okay, level 5. This is where money becomes information. And the people who control the books actually control everything. Let's see if I can pass my degree with a little help from YouTube.
You wake up in a city that smells like cloth, ambition, prayer, and arithmetic. Coins still matter. Paper still matters. But the real revolution here is quieter. It lives in books, accounts, balances, correspondence, partnerships, double entries, reputations tracked across distance. You feel the change the first time you realize a ledger can beat a chest of coins. A chest looks rich. A ledger looks boring. The ledger wins. The ledger can move value without moving metal. It can settle claims across cities. It can coordinate business between people who are not standing in front of one another. It can multiply trust among strangers who share records, incentives, and long memory. This is where money stops looking like a pile and starts looking like information. That is a dangerous upgrade. Dangerous in the creative sense. Dangerous in the political sense. Dangerous in the social sense. The person who understands books now has a form of power that is not obvious to the eye. The old image of wealth is still physical. Gold, property, fine clothes, visible abundance. The new image of wealth is administrative. Who owes what? Who can settle what? Who can convert a local fortune into influence across distance? This changes status. A merchant with sharp accounting begins outrunning a merchant with heavier cargo. A family that understands credit, branches, correspondence, and risk begins shaping events beyond its walls. You stop thinking only in terms of possession. You start thinking in terms of position. Who are you connected to? What claims can you prove? Whose trust can you mobilize? How quickly can you transfer obligation from one place to another? This is finance becoming networked. And once money becomes information, invisibility starts mattering. Some wealth is now hidden in paper, timing, and relationships. That means the richest-looking person in the room is not always the strongest one in the system. That is a very modern truth. The visual language of power starts splitting from the operational language of power. You feel it personally. You can still carry coins. But if you want to rise, you need records. If you want to scale, you need correspondence. If you want to be taken seriously, you need people to trust the book as much as the box. Here, money acquires a new secret. It can travel as organized information. You stop looking rich. You start looking important.
Alright, that's level 5 done. Next time, Professor Stickbot takes us to London, 1694, where a king who couldn't afford his own war walked into a room full of merchants and accidentally built the most powerful financial machine in history. Spoiler alert, it wasn't built for you. Subscribe so you don't miss it. I think one of my college mates has subscribed, but I don't think my economics professor has subscribed. And I'm sure I told him about this channel and asked if it could count towards my finals. Well, we'll just have to wait and see if any of those college professors show up on YouTube. By the way, I'm writing an essay on gold, so tell me in the comments, would you rather hold a chest of gold you can see or own a number in a book you can't see? Are you Team Gold or Team Ledger? See you in the next one.